Hi again, everyone. I'm glad you found your way here. This may be one of the least complicated videos so far in my series. You'll start with your own handwriting, the way you naturally write letters and words. Getting this video ready was really fun for me because I've always liked playing with text and art. The first thing you'll want to do is think of a word or words that you want to work with. It could even be your name. Once you know the word, just write it the way you'd normally write it. Don't worry about good or bad handwriting. The way you write is your style, unique to you. Notice that I'm using grid paper. For this art starter, a type of lined paper might be good for you. It's your choice. Also, use pencil. When you see me work, I'll be pushing harder with my pencil so that you can see it on the video. But you'll want to start with light lines usually when you're working with text. They're easy to erase and won't show up when you do your final work. Once your word is written, you're going to start playing and adding and changing the letters. And I'm going to talk about some ways that you can creatively do that. So here are some examples of ways that you can play with and alter your letters. The first I call bubbling. And when you do that, you're simply rounding parts of the lines, maybe thickening and softening, tracing around your letters. Wide, narrow, bubbling. The second one is blocking, and S's are tricky. I'm going to talk about S's. If I were to continue this all the way around, that's not going to be right. It could be, I suppose. But what I often do is I'll go around, then cross it over, something like that. I'm going to do that again right here. There's my S, the way I would normally write it. Squaring it, crossing over, and back until I get it right. That makes a little more sense. When you're blocking out, you're adding straight lines, maybe incorporating some other designs. Hard edges versus soft. I always loved writing my name for the potential for adding curls and swirls. Just have fun with more curves. Cursive works well for this. Have fun. Beads. I was looking up some terminology for constructing text and fonts, and I came across the word beads. These are simply little ending points, and they could be different shapes. Maybe even lines that finish off your letters. Beads. You could consider filling their spaces with pattern. Here I've blocked my word in so that I've got some negative spaces between my letters that I can fill with pattern. That way you're not just filling in the shapes made by the letters, but you're filling up space around the letters. However you choose to do that. You're doodling. Patterns. You could apply the powers of pareidolia. This was from one of my earlier videos. It's the idea of seeing shapes and even subjects inside things like clouds, or in this case, I saw eyes in my O's. I saw this as an arm, and I turned this into some sort of, I don't know, creature. You have to look closely to see it. Here I borrowed from Neurographics. I started with cursive and let my line wander, like we learned about in the Neurographica video. And then I started softening those corners. These are just a few ideas. The idea is to just doodle and play. Add color if you want. I think that the more you play, you're more likely to come up with your own ideas. These are all examples of playing with text inside boundaries. Here I drew some curving lines, and I've worked between those curving lines to place my word. The letters had to change according to the space. The idea of stretching a word out is a possibility, or squishing them together. You could make your word fit into a shape that matches the word, as I did with cloud. This idea of fitting your word within a space can be fun. I had a lot of fun with this one. I created it as an example of what can be done on a toy wooden block during one of our Create and Connect block parties, where participants will be invited to design a block to be used in big collaborative sculptures. I altered my name in ways that say something about me here. I like the sun, plants. I like to have a sense of wonder, seeing the world around me. I like rainy days sometimes for creating. I like to draw, and I love color. So, like I said, I had some fun with this, just playing. And I hope that you'll have some fun playing with text too. Until next time, everybody. Peace.